I'm hideous?
You are horrifying to look at, yes.
While marveling at the marvelous work behind, Marvel, it's easy to think of makeup as merely cosmetic. We write off the otherworldly as CGI face dots, but when bringing cosmic characters to life, we tend to neglect the hours of design work in the makeup chair that is a timeless element of movie magic. Transformations still happen by hand and are a foundation of the set, so let's pull back the putty to reveal these unsung heroes. Now, of course, with all of the alien looks in the MCU, VFX makeup is going to take center stage. But WandaVision really showed how much makeup contributed to generational TV. For research, the makeup department had to watch television era by era, and not only match the styles of old cameras, but also find ways to integrate the continuous look of each MCU character. They shot in front of a live audience for the 1950s era, and sometimes had only minutes between takes to do touch-ups. Just like old sitcoms. To look natural in black and white, Olsen's eyeshadow was a robin egg blue with a dark pink shade on her lips to stand out enough in the black and white. By the 60s, it was nails and color matching to pop out from the sets, including Wanda's red hair for the color reveal. The 70s was all bold colors, and for the now in-color series, blue eyeshadow was given for Monica Rambeau. By the 80s, it was aerobic looks and blowouts. The 90s about tying to the comics by making Wanda's fair skin pop with ruby red lipstick. By the time it was Agatha all along, we're going from black and white to color, so they had to figure out how she could look good in both once Agatha came into full Technicolor. With so many tricks and techniques, it really showed why they are called makeup artists. Of course, Wanda wasn't the only one in the makeup chair. Paul Bettany as the Vision takes 3.5 hours in the chair each day you see Vision on screen, all the way since Age of Ultron. They're combining all types of makeup with prosthetics. First he's painted, then as Bettany puts it, I'm put inside this rubber balaclava which is then glued to my face, and it's a lot of prosthetics. The quirkiest innovation to the makeup since Vision was introduced is the ears. In Age of Ultron and Civil War, Vision could barely hear as his ears were normally covered by prosthetics, which caused him to miss cues and read lips until they started poking holes around the ears. By WandaVision, they freed his ears since they had enough visual references so CGI and makeup teams could work in concert to allow Bettany more freedom to act. Must have felt lucky that after all this time focusing on the Vision, he was allowed to focus on the hearing as well. They are constantly revising looks of a character for every appearance, and by the Loki series, the character had appeared in every Thor and 3 of the 4 Avengers films. Since his introduction in Thor, his look has changed, and thankfully, so have Chris Hemsworth's eyebrows. Why, oh why are they so bad? It may seem subtle, but fans freaked out to find out that almost every film you see Loki in, his wig is different. Yeah, it's a wig. First Thor, his complexion is natural, his hair is short, but by the first Avengers, it's longer, greasier, and with paler face makeup. By the Dark World, Tom has sideburns and a natural hairline until Taika Waititi put Loki in the corner with Thor Ragnarok, with a much paler face accentuated against the hyper-color backgrounds. Really bringing the frosty out, you know? By Infinity Wars and Endgame, the natural look was back, and fans were shocked Hiddleston didn't wake up like this. He goes through 2 hours of hair and makeup every morning between wig extensions and makeup for the series. Hiddleston's eyes are naturally green and blue, but when paired with dyed black hair and pale skin, they pop out as creepy and mischievous. These subtle differences throughout his MCU run give the God of Mischief his signature look. Taking a rainbow bridge to the other side of the galaxy, we have to discuss the amount of work put into the sisters at the heart of the Guardians of the Galaxy. For Nebula to come alive on screen, Karen Gillan had to shave her head bald, which she announced at Comic-Con by pulling her wig off. She undergoes a process of almost 5 hours to dye her skin blue and place prosthetics and mechanical attachments to her. It also takes nearly an hour to take off, which is why I'm glad her screen time really jumped in the second Guardians film and beyond. Because if you're gonna go to all that trouble to put her back together again, it better be worth it. Luckily, she can identify with her sister, as Gamora also takes about 5 hours under silicone to create a new brow line and cheeks to give her that alien look. Saldana, in an interview with Slash Film, revealed her makeup department request. Everybody else was just like, contacts? Do we dye the hair? Wig? No wig? I'm like, pretty. Teenage boys, please. We gotta get their vote. Back when Marvel was creating its first period piece with Captain America, the First Avenger, director Joe Johnston worked with the makeup team on the design of Hugo Weaving's Red Skull. Hugo Weaving was already a great actor, but his distinct chiseled features gave the makeup artist lots to build on when adding the layers of prosthetics needed to achieve the Red Skull. Weaving would have to sit for over 4 hours to get this look and found it tedious, to say the least. By the time the character reappeared in later Avengers movies, The Walking Dead's Ross Marquand took over the skull time. Hey, sometimes even German Hydra agents can't take the heat. We did say Marvel and not just MCU for a reason, because we can't talk about makeup and prosthetics without talking about Mystique from the X-Men series. Sure, Rebecca Romijn was a supermodel, used to hours of makeup, but even she couldn't have imagined the nearly 9 hours it took in 1999 to strategically place blue scales all over her naked body. The process sped up for on-screen appearances since, but it seems overkill for the 3 minutes she got in X-Men 3. By the time Jennifer Lawrence was in First Class, the team had figured out new techniques because, well, J-Law was allergic to the paint. Thus, a blue bodysuit had to be created, but it meant Lawrence had to stand for the hours it took to create all of the effects. Thankfully, by that point, Mystique's special power was often transforming into a Jennifer Lawrence for funsies. Yondu was also blue dooba-dee-dooba-da from spending so much time in a chair. Yondu's look is a slight departure from the comic books, and with Michael Rooker taking the role, they wanted him to feel gruff and have scarring, as well as his craggly false teeth, since there would be so much focus on his mouth when he whistles for his arrow. They had to create a hole at the top of his head for the fin, and the whole process took about 3 to 4 hours. But to round out the blue person group of Marvel character makeup, we have to talk about the intricate scarring seen along Alan Cumming and Kodi Smit-McPhee as Nightcrawler. The makeup team worked with the effects team and a mechanical team who created Nightcrawler's tail. Cummings, being a Broadway actor, was used to stage makeup, but 4 to 5 hours will really test that commitment. By the time McPhee took on the role as a younger Nightcrawler, they wanted to shift the look to a darker blue with more cat-like features. Since he's younger, he also has less of the trademark scar tattoos. When you're a makeup artist, it always helps when you have a stunning canvas to start with. And when James Gunn was looking to create a race of perfect golden people for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he cast the elegant and poised Elizabeth Debicki for the role. They covered Debicki in lush gold from head to toe, exactly matching the set she would appear on, including golden contact lenses. She was given shoes that made her stand almost 7 feet tall so she could be looking down on all the less perfect people, which really brought back all of our high school insecurities. Real Allison vibes. There are so many others we could have noted, from Kelsey Grammer's Beast to Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser, but one thing we quickly realized on this list is how much time is spent turning people blue. It was gonna be like 90% of the list of just turning people into Violet Beauregards, so we thought you'd appreciate a little more color commentary.